Is Orcish Bowmasters the best creature ever printed, or is it a fat dookie? That's what we're here to find out. What does it do when it enters for 2 mana? We can deal 1 damage to any target, and we also amass 1, which means we make a 1/1 token. But that's not all, it also has Flash, which means if our opponent attacks with 3 weenies, we can kill all 3 of them. But it gets even better, because Bowmaster's ability also triggers whenever something causes an opponent to draw a card. So for each card our opponent draws, we can deal 1 damage to any target and we amass 1 again. But the downside of amass is that if we already control a token, rather than creating an additional orc, we instead place 1/1 counters on a token we already have. There are a ton of reasons why this card is insane, but there are also reasons why it might not be good enough. It dies around 6, and not all digging is card draw, such as expressive iteration. But if we really build around Bowmasters, perhaps we can break it. We have the card Burning Inquiry. For only 1 mana, each player draws 3 cards, and discards 3 cards at random. Because our opponent's drawing 3 cards, Bowmasters will trigger 3 times, along with ping 3 more targets, and turn our orc token into a 4/4. But the craziness doesn't end there. With Goblin Bombardment, we can sacrifice a creature to ping, so if we sacrifice our orc token, Bowmasters will make a new one. In other words, instead of making an orc as a 4/4, we can instead sack and ping for 4. But it gets even better with Call of the Death Dweller. For 3 mana, we return up to 2 creatures from graveyard with a total mana value of 3 or less, and 1 creature gains Death Touch and Menace. If we reanimate Bowmasters with Death Touch, whatever it pings will die. Imagine reanimating, followed up with Burning Inquiry. That's 4 Death Touch pings in total. That's crazy. But it gets even better, because our deck has ass. Its mana value is technically 0, so we can reanimate it along with Seasoned Pyromancer. Not only does Pyromancer discard, but it also makes weenies, which we can sacrifice with Bombardment. Now back to ass. We can play it for 1 if we discarded this turn, which in our deck seems very likely. When it enters, we dig for Cookbook, which can discard to make a food, Comboing the Daredevil, which will return a hand when we make a food. Once we have 2 foods, ass can sacrifice them to deal 6 damage, and because we're discarding so much, we have Hollow One, which costs 2 less for every card we discarded, which means with Burning Inquiry, we can play it for free. To help things along, we have Street Wraith to cycle, and Insolent Neonate, which can discard and draw at instant speed, and his Bloodghast, we can throw it in graveyard and then bring it back with a land. Another great card with Bombardment. Lastly, Urza Saga, because we have so many artifacts, mostly from the foods. But is this deck good enough to break Bowmasters? We shall find out with gameplay. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and without further ado, here's the gameplay and I hope you enjoy. Opening hand, we have Burning Inquiry. It's tempting to play it now, but we do have Bowmasters, so we'll hold it and pass for now. Opponent plays Sentinel and passes. Oh, and Cookbook for us. But with Sentinel out, we'll stick with the Bowmasters plan and pass the turn. Opponent plays Pure Steel. Whenever equipment enters, they draw a card, and they can click for 0 if they have enough artifacts. So tragically for opponent, Orc is Bowmasters. They lose Sentinel and make an Orc token, and tragically for opponent, Burning Inquiry. We draw 3, and discard these 3 at random. Not terrible, but Daredevil would have been better. We'll ping 2 here, and 1 our opponent. Now we have 4/4, swing for 5. We'll put out Ass and grab Cookbook, play it, and discard Daredevil to make a food. And we'll pass. Oh, Ink Moth. And Cigar is a yikes. So I can flash and equip for free. Oh, they pass. No creatures, interesting. And that's a good top deck. Ink Moth could one-shot us, although we could use Ass to deal 6 damage, but if they have double hammer or something to protect Ink Moth, and Ass might not be enough, we'll make another food, getting back Daredevil, play a second Cookbook, and make another food. Eat their creature for 8, maybe at 6 will pass. Oh, animate Ink Moth. Oh, and they're going for it. They flash and hammer, trying to equip, but we'll sack 2 foods, and try and deal 6 damage. And they have Sword of Salvation, trying to give hexproof, but Bowmaster number 2, dealing 1 damage. Opponent passes, and we have lethal. So game 2 it is. Opening hand's pretty stinky, we'll mull. And this is also stinky, although we do have Cookbook, but with only a Saga in hand, that's too risky, we'll mull. Oh, and this is so stinky. We'll have to keep it. At least we have Street Wraith. Oh boy, Cigar's Aid. Ask for us, and just roll a land here. And this isn't so bad. Cycle Street Wraith. Oh, we're so clapped. Alright, we'll pass. Opponent has Ink Moth, and finds Hammer with Stoneforge. It's now or never for us. A land, but we're still dead. And they're lethal. A crap hand for us and a great hand for them, but that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll call this match a draw, and move on to the next archetype. Opening hand, no lands for Asmoranomardicadaistinaculdacar. Oh, and this is pretty good. Do we go for a turn 1 Hollow One, or wait for Bowmasters? I suppose we'll wait. We'll throw a Neonate and pass. Oh, opponent plays Ravioli and passes. Another Neonate for us. Swing for 1. We'll pass. Opponent tries to swing, but Bowmasters taking out Ravioli, making an Orc. Opponent plays Voidwalker and passes, but tragically for opponent, Burning Inquiry. Discarding these 3, very nice. Voidwalker does exile them, but we'll kill Voidwalker. 3 Hollow One for us, and ask for 1. Digging for Cookbook. We'll spank our opponent for 6. They go to 11 and we'll pass. And our opponent exclaims, "Stay away from my stinky hole." How explosive was that? And now it's on game 2. Opening hand, no Hollow One. Oh, we do have Burning Inquiry. I suppose we'll try it. Oh, opponent plays Ravioli and passes. This would be a tough call. Burning Inquiry is pretty good turn 1, but with no Hollow One to back it up, Neonate's probably better here. We'll play Neonate and pass. Opponent plays Voidwalker and passes. Ooh, another Saga. I think we need an Inquiry here, just to mix up our hand, even And the Voidwalker showing off her graveyard is pretty stinky. Inquiry time. Oh, these are pretty good. Oh, we lose ass. And our cards are exiled. So they lost the Blood Moon. And Furry, so that's pretty good. We hollow one for us. We'll pass Saga and pass. Oh, and a double bolt hollow one. Hollow one goes to exile. Oh, and feign death on Voidwalker, allowing them to steal our hollow one. And Voidwalker comes back. Come on, something good for daddy. Uh-oh, another inquiry. I suppose we gotta take the risk. Starting inquiry. There is Bowmaster and hollow one there. Of course we discarded hollow one in our Bowmasters. Oh my gosh. So our opponent can have this one. We'll call this match a draw and move on to the next archetype. Opening hand, nothing too special. But I'm special, so we'll keep. Burning inquiry time. Ew, these three. Discarding these three. That didn't help that much. So our opponent did discard some good stuff. Confederation Bauble. So at the very least, hopefully we mess up their hand. Oh, never mind, we gave him Delirium. Land ew. We'll play Cookbook. We'll discard Bloodghast to make a food. We'll get back Bloodghast and pass. Opponent plays Ledger Shredder. Is this for 3 and passes? Land ew. We'll make a food. Discarding a land. Play Pyromancer. Making a token and drawing 2. Street Wraith, I suppose we'll cycle. And pray for hollow one. No hollow one, but that's not terrible. We'll have to pass. Opponent hits us with 3 and passes. Oh, and Bowmasters. That could be most sexy. What happens if we swing? Opponent blocks, nice. And because Shredder took 2, play Bowmasters. Finishing off Shredder. Oh, removal. And more removal. The Kanai allows Shredder to survive. We'll play Saga. Getting back Bloodghast will pass. Opponent swings for 5. We'll sack a food to gain 3 life just to be safe. We go to 7, they play a second Channeler. We draw Bowmasters. Oh, we're shooting for something far larger. Play Death Elders. Do they have counter spell? No, they don't. Bowmasters has Death Touch. We'll take a Channeler. The Orc token becomes a 2/2. And now the question is, do we sack a Neonate? Because if we can draw 1 drop, we'll trigger Ledger Shredder and get another ping. I suppose we'll try for it. Sack Neonate. Discarding Bowmasters. Oh, Cookbook. Play it. Ledger Shredder connives. So we'll get another ping. Spank for 6. And we'll pass. Oh, opponent plays Murktide and passes. I can go lethal next turn. Unless we crack the food. No land. I think we're clapped no matter what we do here. Because of 9 damage, we can't make a construct and use our foods. And they have Bolt in hand. Yep, they have us. So close. Time for game 2. Opening hand is super bizarre. 3 hollow ones, but only 1 way to discard. I suppose we'll keep it and pray for a top deck. We'll play Neonate and pass. Opponent plays Tribal and Bauble. So waits to crack their Bauble. And instead cracks it on our upkeep. Uh-oh. That's not stinky for our opponent. With 2 ways to discard hollow one's pretty tempting here. But how can we pass up Bowmasters? Swing Ravioli. Swing for 1. Then we'll pass. But because they crack Bauble on our turn, their card draw now will trigger Bowmaster. Oh, never mind, they have removal. Opponent plays Land of Passes. Oh, an Ass. Ass is pretty good. We'll first swing for 2. We'll cycle Street Wraith. Land. I wonder if our opponent has Spell Pierce to counter. I could mess things up here. But how will we put out Ass? Grab Cookbook. Play our Cookbook. Cookbook hits. We'll sack a Neonate. Discard our land to draw a card. And now activate Cookbook. We've discarded 3 cards this turn. You know what that means. 3 hollow ones with us. Not surprisingly, our opponent concedes. That was very schmexy and lucky of us. But we'll gladly take it. So there we have it. Was Orcish Bowmasters viable? I think so. It seemed pretty strong. But the deck overall feels like it could use some improvements. Hollow one in particular, even though it's explosive, it does that a furry. So it's definitely not as good as it used to be. But I think the concept of the deck still has a lot of potential. And for that, we need more investigating. Let me know in the comments how you big boys would improve the deck. And until next time, stay dynamic tech.